Hello and welcome to this week's newsletter. I've had a haircut and I'm outside and it's a cold day, but wait till you see the size of my clock. It's massive, isn't it? Massive! What a huge clock I have outside my clubhouse today. Brilliant, absolutely lovely. So there's no excuses for being late for your tea time, or indeed taking ages to play a round of golf. What more have we got in store for you today, I wonder? But one more look at that wonderful clock. So last week Davey and Fraser were hitting some of the new product. Now I've got the new Taylormade QI35 range. Now it's a lot nicer looking than previous models. Now I always say, like a golf club, if you're gonna get a golf club and you're gonna get custom fitted, you've got to like the way it looks. If it doesn't look nice, you'll never have confidence over that driver or club, I should say. Now, so it looks a lot nicer from the top, right, I would say. Now, with the more graphite, carbon fibre graphite crown that they've got, they've been able to save weight and lowered the CG position of the driver. So everybody's been talking about 10k, i.e. the maximum forgiveness, the high MOI, the resistance, it won't twist as much from off-centered hits. So they've done that, but when you do that, you increase the spin rate of the driver. Okay, so you lose a little bit of distance. So that's where Taylormade are saying they've changed it by making the driver spin less with a small reduction in the forgiveness. Whether or not that will happen is where the fitting comes into it, and where somebody that basically hits all over the face, you would probably be more than likely going to go to the max version and the biggest head, the highest MOI. Right now, say you're a slightly better player and you still want more distance and you don't have as much dispersion over the face, then you would go to the core product head, which is just the standard QI35. Now, if you struggle with speed, what they've done is they've created a lighter head, okay, with a lighter shaft that you'll be able to swing faster. Now, these things are all very good in theory, right? But when you get fitted, that's the only really true way of finding out what will work for you. Some people might have the LS head and just look down on it and say, well, that's a slightly smaller profile, I don't feel as confident, and the results will differ. Some people might put the max light and they'll see, I don't know if you can see it, they've kind of got this kind of edge round, right, which makes the head look better. Bigger, and some people will go, I don't really like the way that looks. So the look of the club is so important. All this technology is brilliant, and I think the way that they're doing it to explain it, if they lower the center of gravity here and you hit low in the face, you won't spin it as much, so you won't lose as much distance. So that's where they're saying the 10k is important, but they say the 10k forgiveness, the higher MOI, is only part of the story. But again, I'm always very honest, and when I look at clubs, the only real way of knowing anything, reviews are brilliant, but it's you at the end of the day that's going to be at the other end of the club, and you're going to be delivering the club, you're going to be looking at it slightly different than somebody else. Everybody is different. The way they make golf clubs is wonderful, but you can only really dial in somebody's improvements when you see what they do. Somebody reviewing it on YouTube and hitting it in a certain place, they might get benefits from it. You might hit it, say, 5 mils higher, lower, left or right, and that'll make a big difference to what results you get. Also, when you put different shafts into people's hands, they feel different. Remember the old waggle test you used to do? I ridiculed this when I started to learn about fitting. I was like, oh, that's absolute nonsense. It is huge. How a golf club feels in your hands makes a massive difference to performance. If something feels awful, you'll never trust it and you will never perform well with it. So looking at a club and understanding how it's designed, how they move the centre of gravity back to make it nice and forgiving is all well and good, but when it sits down and you look at it, sits open, sits shut, all these things matter. But where TaylorMade are making progress is reducing the weight of the materials they're using, the carbon fibre face, the carbon fibre crown. What I like about these drivers is the movable weight. So where are we? In the standard core head, we've got a 13 gram weight at the back, and we've got a 3 gram weight at the front. Now you can interchange these to change the launch and spin characteristics of the driver. When you get into it a little bit more, you've got the smaller, more tour inspired head, and you've got more weight that you can move about with. But again, how somebody responds, sometimes when I move the weight, say into a draw position, the person will fade it more. It doesn't always work in relation to what you think. I'm always surprised at what we get. The strike can also move when you move the centre of gravity about. So everybody is different. Whether or not these drivers or the Peng or the new Strixon will improve you is unknown until you actually hit the product. So go hit the product, get the numbers. When you're getting fitted, also just take a picture of the numbers when you're fitted, and then you can always refer to them back. We don't always save them here, but we always offer people to take a picture to see if it will increase your distance or tighten your dispersion. We are going to be doing some fitting days that you can come up, try your old driver against a new driver, and let's see what we can do. A lot of the time we'll dial in your old driver to work better. So it's a unique opportunity for you to try a new product in a unbiased environment, and also see what we can do with your driver. So if you're interested in trying any product, we'll talk to you more about the design of these clubs, the design of the Pengs, everything, to see if it will help you. It's a lot of money. That's all I would say. It's a lot of money. That's again why we do what we do, because you know, if everybody was honest in this industry, if every manufacturer was honest, we'd be hitting it to the moon by now. And I don't think anybody's done that yet. So come in, have a little go, but look at the profile of the heads. They are very, very different. You know, so that's the Max compared to the LS. You can see the design is different. How you'll see the profile as well. Max deeper. Right. See, there's all sorts of different characteristics to these drivers. That's why there's different models. There's the Max, the Standard, the LS, and the Max Lite. So there's a driver head for, in theory, every golfer out there. Pick the head first, then we get you into the shaft. But it's not an immediate thing. We also get people to go out on the golf course with our prescription of club, so you can actually take it to the course and see if you find a difference. It's all well and good in here, but we always like the player to get the club in their hands on the golf course to see, because everybody in tour does the same thing. So if it's important for them, it's important for you. So these may look cracking, but will they change your golf game? I don't know until I see you. Did you hear Karen there saying have a look at my doozy? Yes, I'm going to show you my doozy right now. I'm going to try and reverse this so it actually does say doozy, the new coffee machine in the pro shop. Look at that. Oh, hello Shane, how are you? Nice to see you. No? Frozen in time. So yes, the new doozy coffee machine, bigger coffee, lovelier coffee, a new advanced machine. So you've seen my massive clock, now you've taken a good look at my doozy. There's too many innuendos to speak of here in a cold and frosty and foggy East Kilbride Golf Club. Until next week, I've been Graham Bell. Karen's been sniggering in the corner as she's been taking a look at the clock, and everybody else has had a right good glimpse of it. Bye bye. Salute.